everyone, welcome back to Victory Coaching Classes. So in the last video we were learning the chapter Language of Chemistry from ICSE class 9th. So this is the last part of that video. So today we are going to learn how to balance a chemical equation, relative atomic mass, relative molecular mass and their calculations. So before starting our class, those who have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. So going to our first topic, balancing a chemical equation. So we usually balance a chemical equation by hit and trial method. That means we will be given an equation. So first we will look the reactant side. So how many atoms are there in each element of that reactant side? We make it equal with the product side. So I will teach you with an example. So this method is called hit and trial method. I am writing it in the notebook because if I write it in the board it will not be clear. So we will be given an equation K2Cr2O7 plus HCl gives KCl plus CrCl3 plus H2O plus Cl2. So this is the reactant side and this is the product side. So first if we look at the reactant side, we have 2 potassium atoms, but in the product side there is only 1. So first we can write the number of atoms of all the elements. So I have written the number of elements of the reactant side and the product side. So here we have 2 potassium, but here we have only 1. So I am going to multiply this element with 2. So the equation becomes K2Cr2O7 plus HCl gives 2KCl plus CrCl3 plus H2O plus Cl2. So again I am going to write the number of atoms of the reactant side and product side. So we are going to the next atom, that is chromium. So here there are 2 atoms, but here there is only 1. So I am going to multiply this element with 2. So our equation becomes K2Cr2O7 plus HCl gives 2KCl plus 2CrCl3 plus H2O plus Cl2. Again I am going to write the number of atoms. So we are going to the next element, oxygen. So here there are 7 oxygen atoms, but here there is only 1. So I am going to multiply this water with 7. So the equation becomes K2Cr2O7 plus HCl gives 2KCl plus 2CrCl3 plus 7H2O plus Cl2. So I am going to write the number of elements in each side. So I have written all the number of atoms, and next we are going to hydrogen. So here there is only 1 hydrogen atom, but here there are 14. So what I am going to do is I am going to multiply this element in the reactant side with 14. So the equation becomes K2Cr2O7 plus 14 HCl gives 2KCl plus 2CrCl3 plus 7H2O plus Cl2. So we have got 14 hydrogen here and also 14 hydrogen here. So going to chlorine. So here we have got 14 chlorine, but here there is only 10. So what I am going to do is, if we multiply this with 14, it will become more and it will get complicated. So what I am going to do is, I am going to take this chlorine and multiply it with 3. So equation becomes K2Cr2O7 plus 14 HCl gives 2KCl plus 2CrCl3 plus 7H2O plus 3Cl2. So here we can see we have the same number of potassium atoms, same number of chromium atoms, same number of oxygen, hydrogen and chlorine atoms. So the number of atoms in the reactant side and the number of atoms in the product side are equal. So hence we have balanced this equation. And after balancing, at the bottom we have to write, hence the equation is balanced. So this is how you balance a equation with hit and trial method. So going to our next topic, relative atomic mass. So relative atomic mass is the number of times an atom of an element is heavier than the mass of carbon-12 atom. So we know that the mass of carbon-12 atom is called AMU. So relative atomic mass tells us how many times an atom of that element is heavier than 1 AMU. So if we express this relative atomic mass in grams, we call it gram atomic mass or gram atom. So relative atomic mass is the number of times an atom of an element is heavier than the mass of a carbon-12 atom. So next going to relative molecular mass. So it tells us how many times a molecule of the element is heavier than 1 AMU. And if we express this relative molecular mass in grams, we call it a gram molecule or gram molecular mass. So next we are going to learn how to calculate the relative molecular mass of some compounds. So the first question, calculate the molecular weight of calcium sulfate. So for doing this, we should learn all the chemical formulas. Only if we know the chemical formulas, we can do it. So the formula of calcium sulfate is CaSO4. So after writing the chemical formula, we should look what all atoms are there in that compound. So here we have calcium atom, sulfur atom and oxygen atom. Then we should write their atomic weights. So the atomic weight of calcium is 40 and sulfur is 32 and oxygen it is 16. So after writing the atomic weights, we should multiply this atomic weight with the number of atoms in this compound and we should add all these values. So here we have one calcium atom. So 1 into 40 plus here we have one sulfur atom. So 1 into 32 and we have 4 oxygen atoms. So 4 into 16. And now I am going to multiply and add these values. So 40 plus 32 plus 64, which is 136. So the relative molecular mass of calcium sulfate is 136. So this is how you calculate relative molecular mass. So we can look one more example. So our next question is, calculate the molecular weight of nitrogen dioxide. So the formula of nitrogen dioxide is NO2 and we are going to write its atomic weights. So the atomic weights of nitrogen and oxygen. So nitrogen it is 14 and oxygen it is 16. So there is one nitrogen atom. So 1 into 14 plus there are 2 oxygen atoms. So 2 into 16. And I am going to multiply and add these values. And we get 46. So this is how you calculate relative molecular mass of compounds. So we have completed our chapter. So hope you understood everything. If you have any doubts, please mention it in the comment box. I will be uploading new videos soon, and those who have not subscribed my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. So see you in the next video.